Hi, everybody. As you should all know by now, I'm Karen Frey. I'm your host this evening, just for a change. Please, before I bring on my guests, can you make sure that you click on the StreamYard in blue writing at the top of your screen? So it gives them permission to see your name, so I can see your name and our guests can see your name. Otherwise, you're commenting and you're just a Facebook user and you could be anyone. So please say hello. And tonight I have got the fantastic PARACOM team joining me, which I'm really pleased about because it's about time that we started chatting again. So no further ado, I shall bring them all on. And they can all introduce themselves to you, which most of you should know who they are anyway.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Evening, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
So, for those that don't know who you are, can we go around and introduce yourselves, guys, for us, please? Go on, Pete.
Yep.
Right, I'm Pete. This is Mel. We're part of PARACOM.
I'm Steve. I'm part of PARACOM.
I'm Keith. I'm the shy one.
Yeah, right.
I'm Katie.
Steve, if any of you guys that are on, it's okay, Jackie Holt. I can see your name, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. But she just, I can't see the blue writing, but I can see your name, so that's fine. Steve, right, before I do anything else, I just thought of something. When are you starting your show on Just Paranormal?
We'll do it, mate.
You know, I get on my soapbox, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, whenever. I'm up for it. That's it.
Right, well, if you don't hurry up and sort it out with them, you're going to have to come on here instead. We'll give you a platform. I'll tell Liz, sort you out, or we will.
All right, then.
You might regret that, believe me.
Skeptic Steve.
No.
He cracks me up. He really does. Talking about it like he ain't even here now, but
You want to try working with him?
so there we go. We've already said you're skeptic, Steve. What about the rest of you? Where do you all stand?
Well, basically, we're all paranormal investigators, really. I like a bit of tech, but I like me. I am down basically with my digital recorder. I like digital recorder, so that's mainly what I do. A bit of tech and a bit of EVP work, really.
Well, yeah. Go on, Mal. We'll let you speak. Don't worry.
I can never get a word in.
I'm just making sure you get a word in.
I don't know, like, I've been doing it not very long, but in that time that I have done it in the places that I've been to, I've started to get, like, a bit more of a sense. Like, when we go places, I've sometimes actually heard things with my own ears, and we actually caught, like, voices on, like, a digital recorder as well. So, you know, it makes it sort of make sense, and you're like, so I'm getting more and more, what's the word, like, sort of, more sensitive, open, yeah, sensitive to things. Yeah, definitely, yeah, I love it.
And Steve, well, we know where you stand.
Don't believe none of it.
We've got to get him to come out with us and scare him. I mean, get him to have an experience. I'm joking.
I'm up for an experience. Always up for an experience.
And what about you, Katie and Keith? Can you tell people about yourselves?
Yeah, sure. Middle first.
Yeah, so my dad took me on my first ghost hunt. Didn't really believe in it at first, but the more I've seen, the more I'm like, okay, there's something going on. I just can't explain it, so I'm just still curious about what's going on.
I think it was. We went to Nottingham, didn't we? Galleries of Justice. That was the first one, was it?
No, Peterborough
Museum was the first one. And it's still happening, you know, so interesting for somebody I didn't believe. So I was impressed with that. I've had too many things happen to not believe, to be honest. Things in my personal life, various. I mean, I could go on all night about things that have happened in the house, you know. But
And this is in your house?
yes,
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah. Well, one of the latest ones, I was running an app which we don't generally believe in, but there's two that we do use. And
Oh, look, it's just stole one of my questions now. One of my questions I was going to ask, it's answered it already.
I won't tell you about that. I'll do it later for you, Karen, don't worry. Yeah.
No, I'm only joking. No, seriously, go on.
So there's only two apps that we use really, and I was just using this one app, and basically, Kate said turn that off.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I don't like it in the house.
And I basically said, Katie's going, you go to bed. And Katie's go to bed now, say good night. It was bloody thing, say good night. And then it said her name. So it was quite interesting from my point of view. But I think it scared you, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't sleep that night.
You didn't.
We've also had a birthday party balloon from all the way downstairs. We've got a spiral staircase. And it came all the way downstairs and went around Sadie, who's my wife, went sort of circled around her head and then went back upstairs. That was quite interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. There's quite a lot of things happen in our house. Things move, things turned upside down. It's a classic. You lose something and you're looking high and low, and then the next day, there it is, plain as daylight, you know. But yeah, so too many things happen for me not to believe, to be honest.
We've had a comment already. Steve looks like he sat in Gary Field's kitchen with the brick wall. Because
it's my office. It's the office. I'm in my office.
That's what one of the comments are about. Steve looks like he sat in Gary Field's kitchen.
It's
Because whenever he does a live, he sits in his kitchen and he has the brick wall, but it is a bare brick wall. That's what they're referring to.
You get
And I'm just looking through the comments. Okay, everyone's just saying hello basically at the moment.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Okay, so Steve, I don't really believe that you're a skeptic.
Are you what, sorry?
I just putting this out there. I don't really believe you're a skeptic. Not as much as you say you are.
I'd love it to all be real. I really would. Yeah, I really would. There's this word called but, though, isn't there? But.
I'm waiting for the but, yeah.
Yeah, there's always a but. I think it's very easy to just say, how can I explain this? There's always, I think there's always another answer. I always think there's another answer, you know?
There's always a logical answer, or you can find logical reasoning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I think you should do that anyway. I don't know what your opinions on it, but I think you should do that anyway. You know,
there's something wrong with me then, because people always seem to see things or hear things or this, that, and I generally don't. And I don't know why that is.
But
go on.
But we was at Hitchin last time, Steve, and we was all waiting to set up, and you basically heard it with your own ears, the child's voice behind you. And you said
that. Children there.
Yes. No, I'm not saying this is. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, okay? There was people outside. Later on that night, there was people coming out the pub. There was a lot of noise. It could have been it could have been something like that, you know. I'm still so on the fence. It's splinters on my arse. I'm so on the fence.
That's fair enough. And you mentioned Hitchens, like those people.
It was good.
Go on, yeah.
Things were happening. However, let's use that word.
Go on.
Could it have been something else? And people use this word, oh, we're debunking this, we're trying to debunk that, but it's still too incredulous. Is that the right word? It's still, there's still too much. I can't think what the word is. There's still too much possibility that it was something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop doing it. I'm not. You know what I mean?
No,
I love
no,
it.
no,
It's
not
really,
at the
really
end.
good. But I think
It's
I'm
good.
waiting for the impossible to happen to me. You know.
That's
That's
fair
the
enough.
problem. Yeah.
No, that's fair. Mark Williams says he loves UFOs too. Lol. And then Mark Williams said he loves UFOs too. Lol. And then he said, how many adults sound like kids?
A lot, I'd have thought, wouldn't it?
What a drink.
Is he referring to your evening out at Hitchin or something? Did something happen?
How many adults? Oh no, and yes. There's a difference between a child, I don't know, screaming about, and then there's some 25-year-old drunk. You know, there's a difference. I understand that there's a difference, but. Maybe I don't want to believe. Maybe I don't want to believe. Maybe I want it to.
I feel like we're being grilled and we're just picking on him.
It's a hard time.
Really what was said in the comments, that's all I'm saying. Sharon Edwards said, just wait till you go to Warwick Castle.
Looking forward to that. I've been to Warwick Castle just as a visitor, and it is a great place.
Yeah, it is.
I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, been there in the day and been there on an investigation already.
That's
So
it.
I'm going to go back again. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So before we get on to anything else, we'll talk about Hitchin. So those of you that watched, obviously you guys did a live, and you did a live part of the last festival that we did as well for us, which we really appreciated. I just want to thank you all again for doing that and interrupting your night and getting you to do a live for us. So you got, what evidence did you get there? What happened? Because I hear you had different things on the night.
Wow. Kev, you start, mate, because you had the worst.
They had the picture, didn't
they?
Firstly, Karen, thank you everyone for what you did over that weekend. It was amazing, and we were privileged to be allowed to be seen on that platform. So thank you for that. Firstly, there was a guest with us who won a competition to spend an investigation with us.
Tasha.
Yeah.
She's on the comments at the moment, by the way.
Oh,
she must have known you were going to talk about it.
Yeah, probably, yeah, definitely. And basically, we went into this. The first room we went into was a classroom at the back of the hall, and we had footsteps. We had one of the other guests just randomly said. It's a bit morbid for this time of night, but just randomly said, I'm getting somebody hanging off that beam, And we thought, oh, that's a bit strange, it's a guest. And then it was sort of confirmed, and that we found that quite incredible, because she said that she didn't know anything about that place or the room, never been there. I then remember sitting in the chair, giggling like a school kid, and I don't remember else apart from being woken up, and I said, who are you? To Tasha, because I think she put her hand on me, and I said, who are you? And I had to go outside. So the only other time that's happened was at 30 East Drive, when we were up in one of the rooms, and I had to be taken out of the room because, completely out of character for me, I may add, I got quite aggressive. Start shouting, so take me out of the room. So very strange behaviour. And
amazing!
It took me.
It's not strange. It sounds fantastic to me.
took me a while to read because I couldn't feel my legs or anything, you know, and very, very strange experience, and it almost drained all of my energy, you know, so I really struggled to get up and get out. So that was quite incredible.
So it sounds like you were channeling both times.
Well, that's what Tasha said, yeah. And she seems to be very knowledgeable, to be honest, about the whole subject matter, which we appreciated as well. And just moving on from that, we were in a hall, and we had a REM. I'll talk about Pete's REM pod in a minute. We had a REM pod, and I basically said, can you run up and down the corridor, you know? And sure enough, this bloody REM pod went off, like somebody had gone past it, and then it did it again. And we've got all this on audio. So what I'm slowly doing, because of time constraints, is putting audio stuff onto our Facebook page. I'll put a couple on today as it happens, which is quite interesting. And we do appreciate all the comments and feedback from anything we put on there. You know, it's much appreciated. But from my point of view, that place was absolutely incredible. My first visit, and I can't wait to get back. Can't wait to get back.
But also,
You've been before.
Sorry, am I preempting all your questions?
Yeah, it's fine. It's all right. I'm used to it.
also, Dave, you know when, because you got an EVP because you're doing recordings. When you went under in that seat and you woke up,
yeah,
you caught an EVP, didn't you? When it came up, they said we worked.
Yes, we worked. Yeah, that was quite interesting as well. But I think equally interesting in that room was the picture that Steve took.
Yeah, I was going to say the picture as well.
That Steve took. On the.
It looked like there was a child sitting behind a desk, didn't it?
Yeah.
And that's on the website, I think, is it?
It's on our Facebook page, yeah.
Yeah, that was incredible. And there was another picture that Steve took, because he does, well, I'll let you explain, but he does like 30-second stills. And I walked in front of it, and I got shouted at for walking in front of it. And when they shouted it, I wasn't there, couldn't see me. So that was bizarre in itself. There's a lot of photo bombing, isn't it?
Mark, that picture is amazing.
You've seen it?
Good picture.
It's probably
it's one of the best
ones we've ever caught, I think. So, would you agree?
Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Take the son sitting in a chair or something, don't know.
That was good. Jail cells at Gainsborough.
Oh yeah.
For me, that was a single. That was one of the best bits of capture that I couldn't explain. Where we had two separate pieces of equipment. We had the SLS camera and the REM pod interacting with each other. When we had that stick man lean over on command to actually touch the REM pod, and it did, and the REM pod went off. You know, that was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was incredible. Yeah.
Where was that?
The old Nick in Gainsborough. The old Nick.
It's a
Oh,
it's amazing, that place as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an old police station, wasn't it? It had its own courtroom upstairs.
Yeah.
Then it closed down and turned into a theatre, which is still got upstairs, which the old courtroom is the theatre. But it's a museum as well, where they've still got the cells in it, underground and underneath. But yeah, that's probably one of my favourite places as well, Gainsborough. I do like that.
But if you look on our Facebook page, it's where Pete shits himself.
Don't. It was straight up.
Steve's laughing. You've got to tell me, because that his reaction then. You've got to tell me now.
Well, it was not long after Drake closed, wasn't it? I mean, because sorry.
Did you poo yourself at Drakelow as well?
Yeah, it was in, and we had
It's called Tenor Man. There's Tenor Lady.
But yeah, we was in the old Nick in the theatre, and we was doing a spirit board. And then we was calling out. And then we had like a set of keys or a chain, Keith, wasn't it? Me and you heard it at the same time. It was like a set, like a set of keys or a chain. You heard it jingle, and both of us, me and Keith, was like, "What was that?" And all of a sudden, it felt like something had grabbed the side of my jumper. It's like it literally tugged me, and I was like, "Yeah, I did. I absolutely put myself here. I'm not going to lie."
We jumped up on location before, don't we, Mark? With comments, scared the life out of him before. That was funny.
We don't mind. We don't mind at all. If it's Pete or Steve, you know.
But it's great. I jump at the time, but it's great when it happens.
Yeah.
But you do put yourself at the time, but it is great when it happens.
Well,
And it has happened a few times. I mean, even when we went to Rotham and we was doing the SD experiment, when it Katie, you called out to touch me on the shoulder, and about 2 minutes later, because we was doing the SD, you have like the ear defenders, you can't hear nothing, the blindfold, you can't hear nothing. Katie was calling out, and she said, like, "Can you touch Pete on the shoulder?" 2 minutes later, I've jumped up. They said, "What's going on? What's going on?" I said, "Literally, something just touched me on the shoulder." And then Keith was like, "Oh, this is great, this is." But he ain't touched. It's always me.
I seem to love you.
You mean it's great as long as it's not you?
No, it's right, yeah. That's not a
It's good. I mean, most of the places we've been to have been absolutely amazing for us. And
Toll House. Toll House.
Toll House was excellent.
Brilliant. Toll House was brilliant.
I've got a bone to pick with Steve about Toll House, so. The spirit board. Remember Steve? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was pushing it. And then he got up and moved away, and it was still moving. You got, I insulted you there, didn't I, Pete?
You did, mate. I'm still stinging from it.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of few comments and questions, but I've missed them because I'm too busy laughing. I could have got lost for and forgot that we'd actually got an audience. Oh dear. Tasha says it was very strange, but picked up on the prefect who was there, and that was it pitching.
Yeah.
And Mark said, "Steve, it is amazing. There could not have been any reflection in that room."
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
And going back to itching for a sec, Pete, you just put online a little while ago, didn't you? That it's only a 15-second video where you asked for a name, and I threw this. I don't know if it's a spirit box. I wasn't there at that point. I don't think. Was it you? It said Christopher.
No, it was me.
Oh, that was you, was it, Keith?
Sasha asked out who's with us, said, "What's your name?" And it clearly says Christopher.
Yeah, that was clear. Yeah.
That's cool.
I didn't see that. I didn't hear that. So just
No, you weren't there. Yeah.
Sharon's asking, have you ever investigated a place where nothing has happened?
Every time.
Every time.
We've had times when it's been really quiet.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've been to Rotham Tower quite a few times, and we've been there with like hardly nothing. Well, hardly nothing really. And we've been back again another time and got quite a lot. So it's you don't get something all the time. I mean, where else could we say that we haven't really got anything really?
Well, I
was
think
the engine museum?
Stuff does happen. Whether I believe it or not is another matter, but stuff does happen. And I think it's because as a group we're quite respectful, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the key to it. I do think that's the key to having stuff happen personally.
It is important. You need to be. At the end of the day, you're going into a location, and it's like someone coming in, coming into your home, isn't it? In a way.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where I kind of look at it. It's like you're going into their space, so you should be respectful.
Yes, definitely.
And you weren't invited in either.
Yeah, we have fun, we have a laugh, but then when we need to be, we're serious.
Yeah, well, I think we all do that. Well, I hope we all do that.
Yeah, well, it's good to have a laugh when you're on an investigation, because as you know, you probably like a good laugh, a good belly laugh, just builds up the energy in the room when you're. It is good. It is good. We do have a laugh. I mean, on Steve's stage, we do have a laugh.
Oh wow! Is there anywhere that you've been that you wouldn't go back to again?
Wouldn't go back?
Yeah. Just out of interest.
For me, no. There's nowhere I wouldn't go back to, because they're all sort of interesting places that we've visited. To be honest, we've been very lucky. Very lucky.
I suppose even if the place is quiet and you don't get anything, you want to go back because you might next time.
That's right.
Correct.
Correct. See if there's any difference. We've never been anywhere 2 or 3 times and nothing's happened. Let's put it that way.
So where have you been the most?
Drakelow, probably.
And Rockham. Yeah.
Drakelow,
Weekly occurrence, isn't it, Drakelow? Every other week.
Not really, it's not, no.
Oh, and Harwich, you've been there a few times.
Oh, yeah, we've been to Harwich a few times as well. Harwich,
Harwich. Yeah. That's interesting. Got some good EVPs there.
Yeah.
Where? Redoubt, you're talking about? Harwich?
Yeah. Love it there.
And where have you got plans that you're going, or hoping to go, should I say?
Well, we've got hoping to go to Hitchin Priory on the 5th of December.
Fingers crossed.
That's to do like an overnighter. We've got some haunted bedrooms as well we're going to stay in. Where we're going to sleep is going to be a different matter. But we're going to spend the night there on the 5th of December. So we've got that, and then next year we got where we got the Old Nick. We've got quite a lot. I mean, we've got a few with you, Karen, with Keith. We're going on a few with Willow's Paranormal, good friends of ours. Also, just Paranormal, Mark and Lee. We've got a few with them, but we've also got like the Old Nick, Harwich, because that got put off this year, so we've got to rearrange that for next year. A lot of them, like a few of them this year, we've had to put off to next year.
Yeah.
It's a bit like everyone else, I think, really, but because...
Hitchin 3 books, isn't it?
Sorry?
We've got Hitchin again, haven't we?
We've got Hitchin again. That is in April and May, because obviously they've closed down again now, so I've had to wait for another date to come through. Yeah. But because a lot of dates have been cancelled this year for other teams, it's important to get dates for next year because they'll accommodate other teams from what's been cancelled this year. So it's quite hard to try and get a date in, if you get what I mean. So
I know.
But yeah, we've got quite a lot planned. I mean,
got a diary.
Steve, this is your life. But we've got. So we've got Rough and Tell again, the Old Nick again, Shepton Moat with you guys, Karen, Shrewsbury Prison with you guys, Drake Tunnels, Warwick Castle, Tutbury Castle, Skirrid Inn with Willows. We've just got.
Sorry to interrupt you. Have you done Tutbury Castle before?
No.
First, okay. Just out of interest, I mentioned a couple of times before. What about the Skirrid? Have you done that before?
No, I've never been there.
No, you're not.
No.
I want to do that a lot.
It's good,
What are you talking about?
It's always after the text messages is finally reachable a week later.
That one.
But yeah, it's Tuppy cars getting skewered in, Steve.
Oh yeah. No, I thought you talked when you talked about Tuppy. I thought you'd gone off to talk about something else. That's all. And I'd missed it. I thought I'd missed the name.
No.
Well, you've been to Tutbury before. You've been to Skirrid before. Tutbury I haven't been to. The Skirrid I have, and I would go back.
You would.
You
Yeah,
would go back.
that's definitely somewhere I'd like to go and do
Okay.
again.
Yeah.
And did some spirit portal there, and he had some interesting stuff. I won't tell you because obviously you want to go and have your own experience.
Yeah.
But interesting place.
I've been to the
You've
ancient.
got the right energy. I think you need to have the right energy to go there. I'd like anywhere, but you guys, because you're all together and you do build your energy and everything. So you think you're going there with Willow?
Yes, we Willows.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah, looking forward to that one as well. Quite a few new ones we've not done before for next year, so it's going to be a first for us for quite a few of them.
So yeah, a lot of the ones that I've actually bought, the ones we're doing together.
Yeah.
I don't think. Well, there's probably only one or two that I've actually done of those. We've actually done of those.
Yeah.
But it'd be a new experience for us and you at the same time, so that would be good.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to go different places, but obviously, as you know, because of the pandemic, it's hard to book places now. It's so yeah, it's just trying to get them when you can, and the dates they've got available to try and get in there. Really.
Yeah, that's a difficult thing, isn't it? If you've been out in the, obviously not at the moment because obviously it's lockdown again, but in between, obviously you did Hitchin. Did you do anything else in between the two lockdowns?
We did chocolate, didn't we?
Kidman Bridge.
Yeah, we went to, no, we didn't go anywhere.
20 foot of bridge, but she rolled over 3 inches. That was good. 20 foot, Jan, 20 foot of bridge.
There was one bridge called the Nun's Bridge. Okay, it's sorted by a nun and a supposed lover. So we was on this bridge and we was calling out, and we had a REM pod either end of the bridge, and this cyclist decided to
run over.
missed the 8 foot wide rest of the bridge and ran over my little REM pod in the middle of the bridge. Yeah, so.
And the REM pod's like 3 inches bloody wide. You still managed to run it over.
Yeah.
Did you do a live from there when you did that?
It was Halloween.
Yeah, that was Halloween.
Yeah.
That was Halloween. I'm sure I saw you did a live from a bridge somewhere.
From a bridge.
Yeah,
Over the bridge now.
Let's move on from the bridge and the record, shall we? So anyway.
That's the question, Carl. That places and won't go again. It's there.
He's still there.
I don't know what I've done.
I think the only time we go back to that place is to pick up Muriel.
Oh, so funny.
One night. We're crazy.
I can't even see now. Mark says that we should put Steve with me and Gary apparently. We'll go somewhere.
Definitely. Oh.
Mark Steve, I got words out, look.
Mark said,
you could come with me and Gary at one of the locations.
well, he wants, I'm going to keep him to his word. He's going to, Draco, wasn't it? He was going to see me behind the bike sheds or something, wasn't he? I don't know. He was going to attack me something, didn't he?
Karen, I hope you and Gary drive then if you're taking with you.
No, he didn't.
Did dear. Look, if we can scare the life out of Mark, I'm sure we can do something to Steve.
Yeah, do it.
And obviously that was unintentional, and that was a bit like your channeling.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was in trance, so yeah. This one that he keeps threatening to show people the video. Sorry,
I'll threaten Steve as well.
But that's not in a trance.
Mark said this is when he was out with us. He said, if I could have got through the wall, I would have. If you saw the video, then believe me, you'd understand why. I've actually found it. I was looking for something else the other day, and I've actually found it on the laptop. So I may share it with you.
Yeah, you've got to show us.
Yeah, now you said it.
You've got to show us.
I won't share it publicly, but I'll share it with you.
Sure.
No, don't put it on public. Yeah, I might have a few bob off of it.
Yeah. Let's make money out.
You've been framed, put it as well. Oh dear. I can't even talk. Anyway, we're not here to talk about me, we're here to talk about you. Oh, blimey. They're all very quiet tonight. I think it's because we're laughing so much and just chatting amongst ourselves. We haven't got... So you were saying about you're becoming more sensitive. In what way are you becoming more sensitive?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
I don't know, like, sometimes I've heard things, haven't I, with my own ears, like little sort of words, haven't I, like, or whispers even, and I'm like thinking, did I hear that? Or so I imagine that when you hear it back on like a digital recorder, then that literally confirms what I've heard, kind of thing. And one time in Drakelo's, didn't I actually saw something, sort of going like a shadow figure sort of going past. And then just after, we heard like these bangs, didn't we?
Yeah,
like,
three loud bangs, yeah.
3 loud bangs. And we sort of ran down, didn't we? But there was nobody there, there was nothing there. We thought maybe it was like another team member, but there was no one. So, yeah, definitely getting more sensitive, aren't I?
Yeah, she cries a lot.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Yeah,
so do you think you're more like I said, you're more sensitive, as in not just hearing, you've seen stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously, like you said, you're clairsentient. You pick up on feelings and things like that as well.
Not so much. No, I don't tend to.
Did you cry a lot, or is that just?
Scream. Yeah, no, I don't sort of pick up on things in that way. I don't pick up feelings. I don't tend to get affected by things. I think Pete, you've got affected physically by things.
Yeah, a couple of times, yeah. Well, a few times, yeah.
A few times now, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Stop laughing, Pete. It's not funny.
It's giggling.
We need to happen to Steve, look.
What?
So we need something to happen to you.
I'm Claire Nothing, me. I'm just Claire Nothing. Not Claire Sentient, clairvoyant, Claire this. I'm Claire Nothing. Nothing.
That one time in Rotterdam, you felt like you got pissed, though.
Oh, yeah. But it could have been anything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Could be anything, sir. It could be anything.
Oh, yeah, that was it. That's all that happened.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, go on.
I mean, so like, when we got to Gainsborough, the old Nick Cage, remember the first time we went in the cell?
Yeah.
And we was getting the interaction with the REM pod and the stick figure at the same time. It was just like all of a sudden, for no reason at all, I just burst into tears.
Oh, yeah.
I just burst into tears. So I had to leave the cell because it was inside the cell. So I left the cell, went outside, composed myself, went back in, and all of a sudden, Katie started bursting in tears. Do you remember that, Katie?
And everything.
It was just, it was strange. That was a strange night. That was.
That's strange.
We've got question for you.
Okay.
I'm assuming it says it comes up the our page, so I'm guessing it's Eddie. But it could be any one of them, but I'm assuming it's Eddie that's asked this question. Because there's individually, which would be your worst locations to do a lone visual?
That's a good question.
Casey, go on, go first.
Very good question.
I would say 30 East Drive. That was one of my earlier experiences with you.
Yeah.
We went, it was just us two, we went with a different group, we were hosting it. And it was my first proper investigation at a real location, I guess, like a house. I'd heard of anyway. And we were upstairs in the, do you know which room we were in?
It was the main bedroom.
The main bedroom. That's when Dad had to leave because he felt really unwell and got really angry. And I was sat on the bed.
Completely okay.
It was just us two in this room. And I was sat on the bed. We got the window behind me, but I was sat on the edge of the bed. And I suddenly felt this really bad burn down my back from my shoulder, right to the bottom of the back. The diagonal line, around 3 fingernails from the top of my shoulder all the way to the bottom of my back.
Oh.
And we took a picture of it, and I just don't understand how it got there. And that was right before Dad got angry and had to leave. So I want to go back in there. Not on my own, anyway. Not with you. Not terrible.
Well, you know, what can I say?
What about you? Is there anywhere you won't go to?
Sorry?
Is there any way you wouldn't do a lone visual?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is, to be honest. I'm generally not a scared person. I'm more scared of the living, you know. But the ancient ramen in the attic.
When we got that recorded.
Oh my God, that that was something else. That was something else. Again, that was with another group. This is when we were first starting out with investigations, if you like, going with other groups just to see what it was like. And excuse me, we went to the ancient ramen, and it was absolutely. It's difficult to explain, but the atmosphere was so tense and so bad there. And one guy ran out screaming, didn't he? For some reason. I got told to get out, which was on the tape.
Do you remember what else we got on tape when they said our name?
Yeah, they said
Moose.
Yeah, they said Moose, which is their nickname.
It's a personal joke between us. I call him Moose, he calls me Moose. It's a little
So it's a personal joke between you, but it came through.
Yeah, it came through saying Moose really clearly.
And we hadn't said that. We hadn't said that.
No reason how it would even know that. It's such a random word to say.
Yeah. And
Wow.
we got picked to phone. And it was just, I wouldn't, this was probably the only place, it's a really good question. And thinking on, that's probably in the attic room of that place. At that moment in time, I wouldn't spend much time in there on my own. Everywhere else, I'm happy with. I like going into, secret tunnels, things like that, into cellars. I'll sit there all night. Not a problem. But there's something about that room that just didn't sit well with me.
Oh, see, I've not done there, so maybe I should.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite an interesting place. I'll say it like that. We had a lot. I sound like it all the time, don't I? We had a lot of stuff happen, but we did. We had a lot of things happen. And not all of it was nice. You know.
Right then.
Steve.
Could have been Steve. That's your new name according to Mark Williams. Could have been.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
So, come on. Is there anywhere? I know. Is there anywhere you wouldn't do a lone visual?
No, I don't think so. Maybe the chapel. Maybe my chapel because it's my home. That's it, really. Because there was, and we've had stuff happen in there, haven't we? And I wouldn't want to go in there. It's my home, so I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do that.
I love it in there. I'm going to stay over there.
Yes,
so is there any, okay, I'll reverse the question for you. Is there anywhere you do want to do a lone vigil? It can be arranged, just let us know.
Tell you where I felt uncomfortable the most when I was on my own, and that's Shepton Mallet. I don't know why, Shepton Mallet.
Yeah.
You know, we went down to the mortuary and all around there. I didn't like it down there, really.
It just means you sitting in there, wasn't it?
So what you're saying is, when we go back next year, you want to go and do a lone vigil in the mortuary?
That's what I'm saying at all, darling.
You should do it.
No, it's not what you're saying. Well, I must have misheard, because that's what I thought you were telling me.
I thought I'd play that as well. So that's well done,
It can
mate.
be arranged.
We'll have the cameras on you, mate. You'll be all right.
You said we're going to leave a camera with him. He's going to lock him in and leave him there. What are you on about? Right, what about you, Peter Mal?
Are we going back to where I wouldn't stay overnight? Well,
I just changed the question for Steve instead, you know, so I'm going back to the original question now.
It sounds strange, but I like sitting in a room by myself. It sounds a bit weird. No, I do. I love it. I like sitting in a dark room and calling out and seeing things.
I wonder where that was leading to then. I like sitting in a dark room
in the dark room.
No, but it's true. But the only place, the only place I felt uncomfortable,
go on.
and I was stupid enough to go in, is the same place, Shepton Mallet, really. We went to Shepton Mallet with Barry Guy, and we was on one of the wings. I think it was B wing, I think it was. Mark was with us, and Mark come out of a shit. This is going to sound really weird. It's not as weird as it's going to sound, but Mark come out of the shower room, right? And
surprised me about Mark, so yeah, carry on.
And it showed you. He went to a shower room to put his REM pod in there. He come out. He said to me, he's got a weird atmosphere in that shower room. He said he didn't like it. So, me being me, I went in there, closed the door. Mark was like, "Are you for real?" I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it." And I went in there, closed the door, pitch black, with my EVP recorder, and I was in there, and I don't know why, I've just got a really bad feeling in the shower room, and it wasn't behind me, and but yeah, and I caught an EVP while I was in there, and I come out and Mark listened to it, and it was one of the most weirdest voices I've ever caught on an EVP. It was just such a dark voice, come through and said, like, "Get out." But yeah, I wouldn't use outside, Mark, but I wouldn't not go back in there again. No, I didn't. No, Mark had buggered off out with it.
I said to Ed, I thought, I think you should do this interview with me tonight. Do you know what? I think it's a good job he's only in the comments. We get him on next time.
Mark, because he feels like an honorary member of the group.
But the thing is, it's a soap was on a rope, so I don't know how he managed to walk out of it.
Anyway, Mal, moving on very quickly. Is there about you, Mal? Is there anywhere that you would or you wouldn't?
See, I'm probably one of the ones who doesn't actually do lone vigils, do I? I've never actually done one by myself, but I would actually like to do one.
Can you arrange? Leave it with me, no problem.
In the old rooms.
Right, got another question for you guys. If there was one place you could go to, where would it be? They're all
For
thinking now.
me, I've heard lots of things about Chillingham Castle. That's where I want to go.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's good or bad. The things I've seen it on the TV. Looks good. I fancy there.
I just saw a YouTube most haunted in a secret location where there's chairs getting thrown and everything. So
Where was that?
It's a secret.
it's a secret.
Long, is it?
So you would go to a secret location where we don't know where it is.
Yeah, go to the secret location. Yeah.
Okay, yep. I've got a secret location, but I might tell you where it is.
I'll tell you.
Not on here. Oh dear. Oh,
Okay.
I haven't done Shrewsbury Prison yet. I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
I've heard good things from there.
we did a walk round not so long back. Ed, you know, we went and saw Gary for a couple of days, and on our way home, we stopped off and went for a wander around and did a little bit of a live, not investigation or anything. We had an hour going, and we just, because we didn't have anything of us, because we didn't plan on stopping. So yeah, we had a little bit of a wander around and stuff. I can't wait to go next year now. Now I've walked around now, I'm like, I want to go next week. I'm like, I want to come back tonight. But yeah, that's definitely, I can't wait to go there. I've got a list like you would not believe. And that, I haven't even told, I don't think I've even told you all of them.
Come and catch our tour bus. We're going to get a tour bus, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, tour bus.
Yeah, just win the lottery first. We're supposed to go to Smethwick Backs as well. That got cancelled, but Smethwick.
Yeah, we saw that to come up.
So I can't wait for that.
Yeah. That's with Andy, isn't it? Is it Andy?
I don't know, mate.
No, it's with Karen. It's with Karen.
No one tells me anything.
We're going here next year with Karen.
Hannah laughing.
You know, well, we never got to finish this question anyway. Right, so anybody else got a place that they do want to go to, which you haven't been to yet and you haven't got booked?
I want to go to Kelvedon Hatch. We've not been there yet, have we?
Yeah, Kelvedon Hatch. We'd like to go there.
Yeah.
Good.
Apparently, so I'm told.
Yeah.
Tasha says one of the shower blocks was used as sleeping quarters at one point at Shepton, apparently.
Oh, was it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it wasn't that night.
No.
Mark says room 17 at Hitchin, Katie.
Ooh.
Really?
I don't know.
Is that dope? You just throw it out there.
Disgusting. Disgust me.
Oh dear.
I laughed so much. I was supposed to be like doing an interview. Yeah, Shepton. I've not done Shepton, so it'll be a first timer next year. But I've heard loads about it.
I got a picture, Karen, of me in the crazy cell, and it looks like a hand on my shoulder.
What is it with her and hands and shoulders? And I think she's got a bit of a.
Knees and toes.
No, that is quite cool. Yeah, that's one place I am looking forward to going and do it. But I think probably it's one of those places you'll go and do it, and it's one of those yet again that you're just going to want to go back and do again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's so big, isn't it? It's so big.
Yeah, you can't get around all of it in one night. It is big.
Because it's sectioned
It's quite
up,
large
isn't it? You can't do all of it, can you? Because it's so in one evening.
Yeah, you find the only problem with Shepton really is you can't have big teams on the same wing because it echoes so much. You get a lot of noise pollution, and so unless you split up in different wings and stay in the same group, like we had 2 groups on the same wing, one upstairs, one downstairs, and you could hear what was going on downstairs, upstairs. If you know what I mean, it was just
Right, okay,
too much pollution.
Yeah.
Have you guys talked about prison? Have you done Gloucester Prison?
No,
Oh.
They're good.
Oh.
is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been. Eddie will correct me if I'm wrong. He normally does. He just pop in the comment and tell me that I'm wrong about something. Those 2 or 3 times we've been. At least twice, I think we've been now. With different people each time. It was interesting.
Okay.
We got the first time we went, we didn't really have any kit or anything. I think it was one of the first places we actually went to.
Right, okay.
I don't think we'd done many places prior to going there, so we didn't really have much because that's before, we didn't really have any kit or anything then. But it was really interesting. We went. Most of the group, our group, were people from our circle, our development circle.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to see what each of us picked up on, and if we picked up on the same thing in the same areas and stuff. So that was quite interesting to do.
Yeah.
Like that. But yeah, I definitely go back there. And I want to go to Derby jail. Well, there's loads of jails I want to go to. Don't ask me why. I've got this thing, I want to all these jails now for some reason.
Yeah, Steve's been transferred to a few. Yeah, but
Karen, Ashwell was one to us, and it's where Steve.
Ashwell was good. Yeah, I like
Where
it.
Steve got everything. Yeah.
That's where I lost my virginity there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Not me.
That's my first one. That was
was that your first ever experience, Steve?
my first ever experience. Yeah. Nothing, Karen. Keep it professional, please.
Hey, look, if you got professional, you got to go on a different show, mate. You got not happening here, I can tell you.
Yeah.
That was good.
I should
Ashwell
play
was
out
good.
one of the others with me because they keep me controlled. On my own, I'm a nightmare. Oh dear. That's it. Oh, Ed said shadow figure. Yes. In Gloucester Prison. Yeah, shadow figure in cell 14 C wing. Eddie and Dave, who's part of our team, they both saw this shadow.
Yeah.
But the unfortunate thing was they couldn't continue to investigate it because we were there as public. Obviously, when they moved on, we had to move on.
Yeah.
But if they could have stayed, they both saw it exactly the same time. They both described exactly the same thing. And I think they both actually felt the presence of it as well in between them, stood between them. It was. I think it was one of it as an experience. I don't think either of them will ever forget that. And that's why we went again.
Have you got a book, Olivia? Or
Is it booked? Can we
Not yet.
book it?
You know me, I don't think about places. I'm like, oh, I want to go there, so I'll book it.
Yeah.
And I say to Ed, by the way, we're going to. Right, sorry. So yeah, it's definitely one place. Yeah, we should book it and all go. We should all go there if we can.
Yeah. Definitely.
The problem is because quite a few places now, you have to go through a different team to actually even book it in the first place because they've got like control over the bookings and everything.
Yeah.
which makes it a bit more difficult with a few locations. That's what I found anyway. Not naming names or places, but there's at least 2 or 3 that I've looked at, and you have to go through the resident team to book it.
That's strange. We've heard that before for a certain team. Yeah, I'm not mentioning any names, but yeah.
But then there's another location that I've contacted, and I'm still waiting for a yes or a no from them. And Ed says we can sleep over there. He's not about Gloucester Prison. Yeah, they do sleepovers there now.
Oh, wow. I'd rather
Nice.
go, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
We'll
you
have
can-
that. We'll have a bit of that.
Have you ever heard of a place in Wolverhampton called the House that Cries?
yeah.
The house that
Been there,
cries,
done
yeah.
that.
That's one that I'd like to do.
It's not very big.
Is it not?
Was it good though?
It was interesting. Stephen the Saddle would love it on his own with the door shut. No, seriously, it was an interesting place. We've done that. We didn't go as pub. We were working it. We had public there with us. That's when we were still. That was when Ed and I were still part of HD. So it was a HD Paranormal night, and it was interesting. We had different bits of kit go off, and I think we would have got more. Maybe. Well, I'd like to go back there and do it more of like a team night sort of thing, and just do a bit more investigating there. I know a few people that have been and said, "Oh, some people say it's like any location. You either like it or you don't. It's one of those, and everyone has a different experience wherever they go, don't they? So
Definitely.
you know, you just go in with an open mind, don't you, wherever you go. And if you get something fantastic, if you don't, oh wow, we've wanted a great night out with our mate. What more do you want?
That's it. It is.
Definitely.
It's all part as well. It's like when you do like your team events only as well. I mean, it's great to catch up with people, to meet new people in other teams and stuff. It's great. I mean, you do have a good laugh. But yeah, to be honest, I like going to places where, you know, when you go somewhere and you get something, it's one of them places where you want to go back because you've got something, but you want more. You want to find out a little bit more. Harwich is one of them places. I've been there a few times. Every time we go back, we get more and more come through, and it's just one of the places where you've got to keep on going back to get more, if you know what I mean. It's just like addiction. You go somewhere, you get something, you get your fix, and you're like, I want more.
Yeah, but it's like Draco. How many times have we all been back there?
Oh yeah.
I don't even know how many times I've been now. I've lost count.
Amazing.
But as many times as we've been, I've still booked it to go. Oh wow, I would have gone in December again.
Yeah.
Planned to go again in December, but obviously that's not happening now. But and I've booked it for next year just because I want to go back again. Because you always get something different there. Even all the time we've been, you always get something different.
Yeah.
It's I like Draco's. It's one of my favourites as well.
And I think as well, I don't know if you guys think the same, but when you go to, like I have there, I've actually had one of Draco's residents. Actually, we have actually had one of Draco's residents in our house.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I'll tell you after.
Yeah.
I'll tell you after.
God.
Oh, Eddie says he's been there 11 times. I've been there 10. Well, yeah, because he's been there without me. Because when I was having I was going through chemo. Oh, Gary come down for a little visit, didn't they? They went off to Draco, and I was at home. So I couldn't go. So yeah, he went. That's the only case he's actually ever been there without me.
Yeah.
And that was when they went with Tash. Tasha went with them as well. Oh, Tash got a question. Do you think spirits recognise you when... what were we just saying? Do you think the spirits recognise you when you've gone back to a place, so that's why you get better results each visit? That's what I was going to say. Before sometimes.
I reckon so.
Yeah, I'm not so sure because we keep getting different names every time we go. We come up with different names we're calling out, and if we ask for somebody that we've had before, we generally don't get that name come through.
That's you. That's because it's you, mate. That's got nothing to do with Karen. They obviously love Karen. They want to come back. But you, they run a mile.
Hey,
You said like Cole Pilkington, yeah?
In the middle of the night again.
You said like Cole Pilkington, the man, the bloke abroad where he is, idiot abroad. They like you, they like Karen, they don't like you.
Leg it, Top Gun's back.
Oh, we'll have to do an experiment. We'll have to do an experiment then and mix it up a bit one night.
like Team A and Team B.
Yeah.
Do confrontation with that, Keith. Do confrontation. Keep drinking your wine.
Right, guys. I'm gonna. Oh, blimey, I can't take no more. Right, guys. I'm going to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for everybody that's been watching. It's been appreciated. Stay with me, you guys. Not the public. Oh, see, look. Tasha just said, yeah, look, Steve, this is confirming what you just said. Tasha said at Falstaff, because she came to Falstaff with us this year, the first time. The spirit box called out my name and my full name.
Oh, wow.
And every name of all of our team members, even the ones that weren't there.
Wow.
Wow. So
That
does confirm it.
Which will give it a shame, then, Keith.
I can't hear your name. Mate.
Oh, I can't, don't worry.
Turn the volume up. I can't hear you.
I don't know how.
I don't know how.
Which
like Tash said, that was interesting. We had there was only myself, Gary, and Gary's like Marky's with you, honorary member of the team, but not a member of the team. It was myself, Gary and Dave. Yeah, and it literally brought out every team member's name.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. And I don't know, but they all said that they're all convinced it actually said Karen, and then a little bit later it actually said same spirit thing, said Karen Gray, and actually said my whole name. And I was like, did that just say? And I was like, no, I'm hearing things. I'm not gonna finish my sentence. I'm not gonna make a mug of myself here in front of everybody. And they were like, that just said your whole name. And I was like, oh, I'm making a mug of myself. I should have said something.
It's very rare, though. Very rare you get that. Very rare.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but that, yet again, that is one place that we've done multiple times and we will be going back to again. Yeah. And actually, and Eddie just said, on a couple of, when we've been to, when we went, I think it was when we went there again, obviously he wasn't there, and we actually come through asking where he was.
Really?
We've had that before. And the same night we had through the port as well, we want Dennis as well. So obviously one of our team members was a bit, it was a bit weird. It literally said each team member is, where's Eddie? We want Dennis. I was like, well, thanks then, stuff you lot. And you want the team member Eddie?
Yeah, you the B team, Karen.
The B team, cheers. I want to say thank you anyway for joining me. Stay where you are. I'm going to carry on talking to you, and I say thank you to everybody for joining us this evening. It's much appreciated. If you've not had fun, I have. So come back and join us next week. I have got Rochelle Stratton and Brian Murray from the TV show Ghost Hunters from America. I'll be interviewing them 8 o'clock next week. So those of you in the audience, if you want to join us then, 8 o'clock, same place, I'll be interviewing them. Thank you to all of you. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you for having us, Carol.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
You're very welcome.
Guys.